Emmanuel, most people, I'm sure your parents or mine or people you know about, there's a lot of conversation, especially in this country, about tribalism. Usioe Mkikuyu, there's all this conversation about why you shouldn't marry from a particular tribe. So while we preach on the political arena cohesiveness, when the rubber meets the road, people become very coy about marrying somebody from a different tribe.
But people are actually marrying now,
intermarriage.
Yeah, people. Yeah. Yes, there's a narrative up there, but nowadays there are many people who are marrying. Like my wife is not Luya.
Yeah.
I'm Luya. My wife is Meru.
But I've been thinking for a minute. I've been trying to do a little research as to why people are very uncomfortable with cross-cultural marriages or intermarrying amongst different tribes. And I think I got an epiphany. One of the things that stood out for me, and we invite the viewers also to just place their comments and their differences and their experiences, is that people are scared of change or the things they don't understand. I feel like a lot of people don't understand or bother themselves to understand about the other culture. So much so that they avoid. They're like, hey, wacha niachane.
So they hate what they don't understand.
They hate what they don't understand. I'll give you a typical example. For instance, there's been a big animosity between the Luos and the Kikuyus. Either it's imagined or it's real, but you've heard from my relationships with a few Kikuyu women who are my friends. You'd hear somebody say, unajua unafaa ushuge Wajaluo sana. Unajua Mjaluo, hiyo karai anaogea. Ndio karai anaoshea mtoto na anaoshea vyombo. Wajaluo anakatakata boga kwa hiyo karai na anaoga nayo usiku. Ni washafu, Wajaluo ni wachafu sana. So that in part emanates from lack of understanding and spectacular ignorance. Because I'll give you yet another example in that tune. In a typical Luo setting, Luos put maji kwa ndoo. You know ndoo, the plastic one that most Kikuyu homes use to wash clothes. So in a Kikuyu woman,
that's drinking water.
That's drinking water.
Oh, okay.
And so they have two things. They have agulu, which is handmade clay pot, which helps conserve maji kwe baridi.
Yes, we also have that in Shag.
And the ones who live in the city urban settings like Kisumu and they don't have refrigerators would put andor and put clean water.
I didn't
so they boil the water, then they sieve it and put it in andor.
So they store it there in the door.
Luos use something called besin, or we call it in Swahili besheni, to wash clothes. But mostly indoors, they use it to store water. So if you come from Central or Muranga or Kirinyaga and you've gone and visited, even some in Nairobi, in the, say, slum areas who put water indoors, then you start saying, hey, Wajaluo now.
So you don't wonder like, hey, these guys are drinking from this door.
From this door where we used to wash.
Oh, right.
So then you judge them,
But which is not the case because
which is not the case.
So I did know that. I'm knowing that now.
Yes. So I think I just want to appeal to our young viewers, especially because we are tasked the responsibility of coming off of tribalism, to seek to understand a bit more. There's once a lady I dated, Mary's mom would consistently say, Wajaluo unajua anataka na maiti. Wajaluo anataka, Wajaluo. Mjaluo unajua mtu amekufa hivi na unaweka ulale naye hapo. But it is not true. That is not the case. Traditionally, Luos would be brought upon dying to their home as a last respect, not inside the house. Say you live in this space, and then they'd be put hapo nje. And then there'll be an overnight vigil. So melala pale nje, and that's their tradition. So well, if you're uncomfortable with somebody being brought as a last rite, and you can, we borrow these rites from, Egyptians and Israelites and so on and so forth. You remember how Jesus died?
Why you emigrated?
Yes, and Joseph of Nazareth. What was the rich man's name? Joseph who took Jesus' body?
It's Irene, I think.
Joseph of somewhere.
Yeah.
So Joseph took Jesus' body, akaipaka manukato, alafu akairap, alafu akaenda.
That's a right.
So that's a right. So if you come from Joseph's tribe, you can't say going like, but
so you can't like abhor that.
You can't abhor that, So I think the biggest thing about cross-cultural marriages and why a lot of our parents say also from guarding us is that seek understanding.
I think what they are saying is look for someone who understands.
Look for somebody who
our
understands you.
Yeah. And then will you be able to?
Can you be able to contain?
Yes. Contain their rights.
Their rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. For another very typical example, and I know we don't care to pay any mind to these things. Where it come from, we call gideri nyoyo. Nyoyo, amudo nyoyo is like taking njugu. Now, a typical Luo family, for some reason or the other, I don't know where this emanates from. I was trying to research. I couldn't go past the habit that is in most Luo homes. Luos snack on githeri and tea. That is our snack. You can have nyoyo, gichae, which loosely translates to chai and githeri. Or when you come back from work in the evening, you can have githeri and tea as you're waiting for dinner. In a typical Kikuyu home, githeri with a few warus is a complete dinner. Now, if you make that for a Luya and a Luo man, they'll sleep hungry because that's what they snack on. So when you lack that understanding, you say, kwani kazi yangu itakuwa ndi kushida kwa chakula nimekupikia the whole night. Kwani unakula mara ngapi? Si ukule hiyo nini na ulale. Sasa ukae na si nimekupikia githeri. Mami daka chakula, githeri nimempikia akakula. Sasa niambia tena nipike. So you see,
like my dad, if my parents, if you give them rice, you have to also give. They'll say, see, that is not supper.
Exactly.
So now they have to eat again. Now the supper.
Yes.
Which maybe consists of a huge ugali.
Absolutely. So in the Western, people coming from Western Kenya, and then please don't hate if you don't understand. Just seek knowledge. Because I hear people telling me, hey, that chick is weird. Oh, that guy is weird. Is that because they lack understanding? A typical cute chick will hook you up a mad njahe meal, thinking she's treating you to a delicious meal, and you being a lunje, you'll be like, eh. So tumekula. Like I remember Mary when we began dating. Mary would take avocados and put them in bread and we'd have them with tea. And then I'd be looking at her like, so? And she's like, si turudi like mashuguli. I'd be like, that's what we've had to eat. And then now what I quickly would taught her, or rather showed her, she'd come over to my place and I'd make ugali, mboga and nyama. But they jangos have a thing against eating ugali mboga solo for some reason. The worst they can have is ugali mboga mayai or omena. But they can't have ugali mboga, they think it's mateso.
Yeah. It's a sign of mateso.
It's a sign of poverty maybe. Like they are just wired like that. They grew up doing that.
I remember when I was dating that my Jango chick, she'd be very upset when I say to go ugali mboga.
Yeah.
But there is no other. We need to have at least eggs.
Yeah. So you see now, as even me, I think the last
in
time...
fact, eggs would be very bad.
Yeah.
She did those eggs with a very sad face. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing.
Because we don't have meat.
Yeah, that's... well, I wouldn't get to the point of crying. But the point is...
No, she not cry, but the face. No.
Yeah, but you see, that's what I'm saying. You need understanding.
Yeah,
you need understanding. Understand the culture. So the reason why a Luo woman would quickly tell their son, don't marry from the Kikuyu family, is because they might not be bothered to understand your culture.
Like in our culture, my wife cannot salamia my dad like this.
Kwa mikono.
Yeah. So the first time that happens, because my wife, that's foreign to her. You can, like me, I can read my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. In fact, she hugs me, which I find interesting. So my mom saw that once and she was shocked. Imagine an amu hug. So she was shocked. But you see, for them, that's normal.
That's normal.
So when my dad did that first to my wife, she was like, hey, bana. She was offended. She was like, why isn't this guy salamiing? So now what you're saying is true, because now when she understood, this is just a culture.
Absolutely. And you see, they are not suggestions. And I think if you're going to marry into somebody's family, you want to respect what they respect.
Yes,
And it might not make sense to you, and that it makes sense to them and not to you does not mean that now you neglect it,
or
you banish it, or you hate on it. You know, like you. For instance, we have a thing again in the Luo community where I think it's the chicks. I'm not very good with these things, but I think the chick's mom cannot come and spend the night at your house, so they have to spend somewhere else. The in-law, you know. So then, if you're going to marry a Lunje man or a Luo man, then you have to be available to let your mother go sleep someplace else. But if it's too tough, marry from your tribe.
Like when I go to marry with them, they're like, hey, what's wrong with you? Where are you going? There's a bed here. In fact, there's an extra room. Why don't you just sleep there? So I'm start bumping into my father-in-law in the corridor at night as I'm going to the
And you see, there are all these norms, and like, you know, we like to think it's African and backward, but it's not. They are British norms. You know, hence we take tea and put on tie. That's not our culture. Tea is very foreign to us. But we've ascribed to the British culture because they colonized us, you know. So in fact, the idea of colonization is that they make you think like them. So you renounce and denounce everything that is authentically yours, and then you embrace something foreign, you know.
But most of these African cultures are quite rich.
They are very rich.
It's sad that they are dying out.
Yeah.
Many of them are very rich.
They are very rich.
And many of us are very ignorant of the other guys.
And we don't care.
We have never known those gunyoyo things you're talking about.
Yes. Huh? So you see now when I come to a house, so
if I travel, say to Nyanza, and I find a bucket with water, I'll drink it.
Now I know. Yes, because now you know.
Yeah.
But if you come from Nyeri and you use that to wash Toto's poo-poo, you'll be like, you know. So and then there's a whole conversation about Luos not circumcising. I remember when I was in high school, some guy called Kamau started calling me Kehe. First time I heard the word, like, Kehe, where the Kehe? Hey, Kakehe, Kamodo. Like, hey. So I asked another friend of mine, I said, why is he saying Kehe? He says Kehe is somebody uncircumcised. I said, how has he known that? Like, why is he saying that? He said, no, but Luo, you're Mondi and you guys don't circumcise. And I was shocked because my mother, at the tender age of, I think, 9, lied to me that I was going to a birthday party and we got circumcised in a hospital. So here I am, 13, 14-year-old being called Kehe, and I'm confused. Where is he getting that from? You know, so these ideas of pinpointing and stereotyping and lumping people up together is really I think
wrong. You should accept somebody according to their culture. Like my wife is okay, now she cooks a mean ugali, a very nice ugali.
Yes.
But initially it was very soft and
because she doesn't come from that.
In fact, she hates ugali. She finds it weird, this ugali.
Yes.
So we had to come to an agreement. I was like, hey, but just cook it kidogo longer, so that it's harder. So that
but it's funny how we are so much willing to accept, say, a foreign culture. Like you're dating a white woman, you can't start telling, "Ujui kupika terere?" Terere.
Yeah, that's hypocritical.
You know, it's so hypocritical. So if you can adjust to have these women learn and maybe teach them, why is it so difficult about, say, training a Kikuyu or a Meru or a Mejikenda about, you know, your ways or learning their ways, you know? Like white people don't pay labola.
So sad to watch our culture on BBC by a white guy.
It's terrible, you know. So we need to
why can't we love it on our own? Why should I watch on BBC?
Absolutely. So I think people need to go back to understanding and respecting those things. They're not suggestions, and they're not the ideas, and don't hate on them if you don't understand them.
And it will help us gel as a country.
Absolutely.